Karen Horney was a German-born psychologist who was best known for her work in America around the 1940s. She developed an interesting theory about the patterns of how we learn to handle distress and anxiety. She says that when we experience distress and anxiety when we were very young, we unconsciously chose one of three ways to cope. The first way is to move towards the person who's causing the distress. When the distress appears to be caused by somebody who usually protects and comforts the child, they're left confused as to why their source of comfort and safety is leaving them feeling unsafe. Now, the carer might be doing something abusive, but they might be just leaving the room for a while. But that can be experienced as distressing, especially if the child does not yet have a concept of time. The moving towards child tries to reconnect with the person as the comforter and provider of safety. And if this is done well, the child learns to bond and develop positive relationships with the adults in their world. They will grow up confident that they will be supported as they navigate the world and all its problems. But if the reconnecting is not done well, the child becomes clingy and dependent. They are the child who hangs on to their mother's legs when they get to kindergarten because they're too scared to venture out. The second type moves away. They feel that since their needs are not being met, they'll look after themselves and they don't need to have a comforting mother. Now, as with the moving towards child, moving away can be done well or not. The moving away child learns to stand on their own 2 feet, make their own decisions, and to not be too reliant on other people. But if it's not done that well, it can lead to isolation and withdrawal. The child becomes fearful and suspicious of others, and the world feels hostile, and they would prefer to be by themselves. The third type moves against. This child is angry that their needs are not being met, and they rebel against those that they see as having caused the problem. On the positive side, they become a person who will not allow themselves to be walked over or victimized. They will stand up for themselves. When moving against becomes negative, it can result in abuse and even violence, trying to force others to be as they would wish. Now, having chosen one of these three strategies as the main strategy, we then choose a second backup strategy from the other two left, and we use them whenever the first strategy does not seem to be working. We carry these ways of acting into adulthood, where they can have a big impact on how we function in our relationships, and even what partner we might choose. So I have recognized that my primary mode is moving towards, and if that doesn't work, I change to moving away. It's useful to work out what you might have chosen and how that might relate to your early life experiences. You might also recognize some patterns in your present relationship. Karen Horney says that what we seek as a mature adult is to express the positive aspects of all three in a balanced way. So this is a very simple theory, but it's amazing how helpful it can be.